Usher told T-Pain he ruined music, and it broke him for 4 years. This is the untold story of how the industry villain became its loudest truth teller, and why every artist owes T-Pain an apology. We're unpacking fake friendships, label traps, canceled tours, and how T-Pain made more money gaming than singing. You ready? Have you ever supported an artist only to see the industry spit them out and pretend they never existed? Drop your favorite underdog comeback story in the comments below, because this one is for the survivors. One man in Tallahassee cracked the code. Little Teddy was just a 10-year-old tech head playing with beat machines in his bedroom until a random J-Lo remix unlocked the glitch in the Matrix. He heard auto-tune for 2 seconds and became obsessed for 2 years trying to find it. Once he did, he didn't just use it, he baptized an entire genre with it. T-Pain didn't invent the tool, he weaponized it. While the industry was auto-sleeping, he went full auto-tune. The clubs were lit, the radio was flooded, but in the background, T-Pain was getting hate mail from your favorite R&B vocalist publicist. While fans were guzzling "Buy You a Drink" like it was gospel, artists were low-key plotting his downfall. Rumors swirled, he's destroying real music. He's making singers obsolete. And yet, every label suddenly wanted the T-Pain effect. They loved the magic, but hated the magician. T-Pain was exposing a simple truth. Fans want vibes, not vocal gymnastics. And the old guard couldn't take it. T-Pain had to suffer so your faves could prosper. Because guess what? The same people who clowned him turned around and cashed in on his sound. Nobody believed in auto-tune until Snoop Dogg dropped Sensual Seduction. Suddenly, the same robotic vibe they called corny was cool overnight. So T-Pain gets dragged, but Snoop gets praised? Once again, it took a cooler cosign for the industry to admit what T-Pain already made iconic. They don't hate the sound, they just hate giving credit. Kanye West called T-Pain to help build 808s and Heartbreak, but while Teddy was crafting bangers, Kanye was writing parody songs about how whack his ideas were and made the whole studio sing it. Yes, Kanye started a studio-wide roast session, chanting, "T-Pain is weak," while smiling in his face. T-Pain didn't even clap back. He still tried to make Ye's vision shine. And what did Kanye do? Drop a project inspired by T-Pain while clowning the guy who helped him build it. Imagine this. You're on a plane, vibing. Usher, your friend, calls you over. You expect dap, maybe some praise. Instead, he hits you with, "You kind of messed up music." Excuse me? That's a spiritual hit job at 30,000 feet. That one line didn't just sting, it cracked T-Pain's mental. He spiraled into a 4-year depression, questioning his entire career. Friendly fire hurts the most, especially when it's coming from someone you admire. Meanwhile, Usher kept performing off the very wave T-Pain was blamed for starting. T-Pain's voice was everywhere. Clubs, commercials, cartoons, wedding playlists. But behind the hooks, a harsh reality. He did most of those 2008 to 2010 features for free. Why? He figured artists would return the favor. Newsflash, they ghosted. He blessed the industry. The industry gave him crickets. DJ Khaled was calling at 2 a.m., demanding vocals on the spot. But when it was time to show up for T-Pain, radio silence. That's not collaboration. That's using someone until they burn out. Yo, I got you, fam. You my brother, bro. Sound familiar? T-Pain heard it from everybody. DJ Khaled, artists, executives, all that fake kinfolk energy, until he stopped being useful. As soon as the favors dried up, so did the calls. Everybody's your brother, while they can use you. That's what T-Pain learned, and it became one of his most repeated lines. If loyalty was real, the features would have been mutual. Instead, they used him like a vending machine. Press a button, get a hit, then vanish. Summer Jam 2009. T-Pain pulls up backstage, excited to watch Jay-Z. Instead, Hove name drops him on stage while launching a funeral anthem for Auto-Tune, DOA, public humiliation, zero warning, and all on the same stage where Jay started wars with Nas and Mobb Deep. T-Pain didn't just get dissed, he got symbolically buried. But here's the twist. He was already planning a break from music. Jay just happened to schedule the funeral 2 months too early. Still, the damage was done. Public perception turned. Blogs went wild, and the innovator got labeled a gimmick. At the peak of his fame, T-Pain had everything. Platinum hits, top hats, iced out chains the size of microwaves. But behind all that, he says even his own kids called him Other Daddy when they saw him on TV. That's not success. That's a crisis with a spotlight. His real life blurred into his stage life. While fans were celebrating the hits, he was losing touch with his own family. The industry didn't steal his sound, it almost stole his soul. T-Pain once dropped $1.2 million on a Bugatti and cracked the radiator within months. Another chain, $400,000, and he regrets it to this day. He was competing with Akon, not knowing the game was rigged. Akon said it best. T-Pain kept trying to flex harder every time someone else copped a car. It turned into financial warfare with no prize. By the time the hits slowed, the bills didn't, and the checks not checking in anymore. In 2019, T-Pain had to cancel his One Up tour, not for health reasons, not for family time, not for some mystery illness. It flopped, straight up, poor ticket sales. Most artists would have lied, dropped a fake doctor's note, or blamed logistics. Not Teddy. He hit Instagram and said, "We effed up. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Transparency in this economy." T-Pain said, "Hold my auto-tune." And that raw accountability, it made people love him all over again. Sometimes the truth is the rebrand. T-Pain invited Travis Scott and crew to his home studio. He's talking game, showing them his production style, trying to build. He turns around after a few minutes of breaking things down. Everybody's asleep, including Travis, standing up, not a yawn, not a my bad, just full coma mode. T-Pain, an icon, was literally being ignored in his own studio while trying to help the next generation. If that ain't peak industry disrespect, what is? Forget platinum plaques. T-Pain's real bag came from Twitch. He went viral for saying he made more money playing video games in the last 4 years than he did from music. Not streaming music, streaming Fortnite. When the industry closed its doors, he cracked open a whole new one. That's what the labels don't want you to know. When they're done with you, you're supposed to disappear. Instead, T-Pain respawned with a headset on and found a fan base that never left. T-Pain pulled up with receipts and said, "Y'all want to know why these albums go #1? Let me show you the scam. YouTube ads that play for just 5 seconds, that counts as a stream. Labels buy millions of those. Surprise drops, they're not surprises. They're PR stunts months in the making. The charts aren't about talent, they're about trickery. Every time you skip a 5-second ad, just know someone's streaming numbers just got padded." T-Pain didn't just expose it, he survived it. You've heard the sob stories. "I'm trapped in a slave deal. My label won't let me drop." But T-Pain's not here for the cap. He said it loud. They gave you $10 million. You flopped, and now you mad they want their money back? That's not slavery. That's business. T-Pain broke it down plain. When artists rush into deals for the cash up front and then underdeliver, the label doesn't owe you sympathy. They want ROI. Period. Read the contract or pay someone who can. Ignorance isn't protection. T-Pain remembered what Drake once said, "I want to gracefully bow out, not get kicked out." Fast forward to today, Drizzy's on his 14th, just one more drop. Every miss, another desperate reload. He's not bowing out, he's clinging on. T-Pain called it out, said he learned from Drake's words, but Drake himself didn't. Fans were shook. Drake stands, pressed like vinyl. But let's be real, is he wrong? Sometimes the most graceful exit is the one you actually take. Some folks screamed, "Sell out," when T-Pain sold his catalog. But when you're offered 100 years worth of earnings in one lump sum, yeah, you cash that check. He said it himself. "I did the math. It made sense." They called it a fire sale, but it was a power move. He didn't sell his soul. He sold the past so he could own his future. Because in today's game, ownership is overrated if you're too broke to enjoy it. He was mocked, written off, clowned as a gimmick. But when the smoke cleared, T-Pain's still standing, still innovating, still exposing the game like no one else. He went from music's fall guy to the guy with the mic telling all your secrets on Twitch. And the best part, he doesn't need your cosign anymore. T-Pain didn't just outlive the hate. He outplayed the industry and came back with his own audience, his own money, and his own damn voice. T-Pain was never just auto-tune. He was the blueprint. Before the cosigns, before the clones, and before the culture caught up. He got disrespected, discarded, and deep-faked out of his own sound. But guess what? He came back smarter, funnier, richer, and more unfiltered than ever. So if you're still chasing industry approval, look at T-Pain. You don't need their gate, You just need your own lane and the guts to drive in it. Hit that subscribe if you love truth tellers over trend hoppers, because next week we're exposing even more industry illusions.